You followed every fasting rule perfectly, skipped breakfast, drank black coffee, waited for noon, yet nothing changed at all. The scale refused to move, your energy crashed hard, and somewhere inside you started wondering if fasting simply wasn't built for you. Here's the truth nobody explains clearly enough. The problem was never how long you fasted, it was always exactly when. Your body isn't random, it runs on a precise internal clock, deciding when fat burns and when cells repair themselves. Fight that clock while fasting, and you can do everything right, yet still get absolutely nowhere at all. Today, we're going hour by hour inside your body to find out where real fat burning actually begins. We'll uncover when autophagy switches on, why timing beats willpower, and why breakfast might matter less than you think. Stay until the end, because the final piece changes how you'll think about eating forever, starting today. Most people believe fasting works through pure starvation. Simply avoid food long enough and stubborn fat magically disappears overnight. They skip breakfast, endure hunger, sip water for hours, yet weeks pass and nothing meaningful ever seems to shift. Doubt creeps in slowly, questioning discipline, questioning metabolism, questioning whether their own body is somehow permanently broken inside. Here's the real answer. You were never doing fasting wrong, you were simply misunderstanding what your body actually needed. Hunger is not fat burning. These are two completely different biological signals happening for entirely different physiological reasons. To understand this, we need to look closely at what happens the moment food actually enters your body. The instant you eat anything, even black coffee with milk, your body immediately shifts into full processing mode. Carbohydrates break down into glucose, blood sugar rises quickly, and your pancreas responds by releasing insulin immediately afterward. Insulin isn't the villain here. Its job is simply escorting glucose into cells so your body gets fuel. But here's the catch. While insulin stays elevated, fat remains completely locked inside your stubborn fat cells. Your body isn't being lazy, it's simply following strict biological law. No fat escapes during active insulin release. This is where most fasting attempts quietly fail. Insulin never drops low enough to unlock anything meaningful whatsoever. A milky coffee, a small snack, a sweetened drink, each one reactivates insulin and resets your metabolic clock. The result is a strange gray zone, no longer fueled by food, yet still forbidden from burning fat. This gray zone creates every symptom people blame on fasting: fatigue, irritability, brain fog, and constant creeping hunger. You're not failing biologically, you're stuck between two states, unable to access energy from either direction. The brain especially suffers here, starved of steady glucose, yet still blocked from stable ketone production somehow. This is why so many people whisper the same frustrated sentence: fasting just makes me feel worse, honestly. What they're really experiencing isn't fat loss failure, it's prolonged energy conflict without any real resolution occurring. Ironically, most popular fasting advice makes this worse, obsessing over duration while completely ignoring meal timing entirely. People skip breakfast, then eat massive dinners late, technically fasting longer while eating precisely when insulin resists most. Their fasting window looks impressive on paper, yet biologically, their body never actually escapes processing mode overnight. So when someone says fasting isn't working, it's rarely fasting itself, it's a mismatch with their internal clock. Every meal you eat sends a powerful signal telling your entire metabolic system exactly how to behave next. The moment food enters your system, a rapid biological cascade begins almost instantly, especially with carbohydrate-heavy meals involved.
Glucose enters your bloodstream, blood sugar rises immediately, and your body interprets this as urgent incoming energy arriving. Insulin gets released like a strict warehouse manager, ordering cells to open their doors and absorb glucose fast. This process is completely normal, essential even. The real issue is simply how long insulin remains elevated afterward. While insulin stays high, your body enters storage mode, refusing to release even 1 gram of stored fat. It's not resistance, it's biology. Elevated insulin literally signals that no stored reserves are currently needed anywhere. Meanwhile, you might be carrying thousands of stored calories, yet your body behaves as though they don't exist. This processing phase typically lasts 4 to 6 hours, though modern habits often stretch it far longer than realized. Refined sugar, white bread, sweetened beverages, even innocent-looking snacks keep insulin elevated much longer than most people assume. If you snack throughout the day, your body may never experience true low insulin conditions at all. A little here, a little there, each bite resets your metabolic clock right back to processing mode again. Your body becomes a factory that never shuts down for maintenance, constantly busy yet never truly repairing anything. This explains the confusing hunger paradox. Feeling intensely hungry doesn't necessarily mean your body is burning fat yet. You can feel starving while fat remains completely locked away, waiting for permission that simply hasn't arrived. This conflict creates fatigue, irritability, and brain fog because your brain depends heavily on consistent, reliable fuel supply. When glucose drops but ketones haven't risen yet, your brain enters an uncomfortable, foggy, unstable middle ground state. Only when insulin drops low enough does the door to fat burning finally, completely, biologically swing wide open. Around 12 to 16 hours after eating, something critical begins happening deep inside your body's energy management system. This isn't a random number. It reflects hundreds of thousands of years of evolved human metabolic hierarchy. Early in a fast, your body relies on liver glycogen, a limited, short-term glucose storage reserve system. The adult liver holds roughly 100 grams of glycogen, enough fuel for a limited stretch of time. As fasting continues, glycogen steadily depletes, forcing your body to ask a critical energy sourcing question immediately. The answer is stored fat, but only once insulin drops low enough to finally unlock those hidden reserves. Fatty acids get released into your bloodstream, travel to the liver, and begin transforming into a new fuel. That fuel is ketones, not an emergency backup, but a clean, stable, remarkably efficient energy source overall. This shift from burning glucose to burning fat and ketones is called the metabolic switch, fasting's true turning point. Hunger doesn't reliably predict this switch. Many people feel hungry long before their body actually flips over. Others pass this mark and suddenly feel lighter, calmer, and noticeably sharper mentally than they expected beforehand. At the same time, growth hormone quietly rises, protecting muscle while simultaneously accelerating fat mobilization throughout your body. Many fear fasting burns muscle, but human biology is smarter, strategically preserving lean tissue during energy scarcity periods. This explains why the 16 to 8 fasting window works so well for countless people around the world today. It's long enough to trigger the metabolic switch, yet short enough to avoid unnecessary hormonal or nervous system stress. Once you cross this threshold, fasting stops feeling like suffering and starts feeling like organized, sustainable biological function. Beyond 16 hours, something even deeper begins unfolding, moving past fat burning into genuine cellular maintenance and renewal.
This is autophagy, your body's internal cleanup crew activating precisely when external food supply temporarily pauses completely. Instead of breaking down muscle randomly, your body recycles what's old, damaged, or simply no longer functioning efficiently. Misfolded proteins, damaged mitochondria, cellular debris, even invading pathogens get identified and marked for cleanup immediately. These components get enclosed in tiny structures, then broken down into reusable amino acids and molecular building blocks. Nothing gets wasted. Everything gets recycled into healthier, more efficient cellular structures throughout your entire biological system. Think of it like a long overdue house cleaning, removing what no longer serves any real functional purpose. This is why autophagy connects so closely to aging, chronic disease, and long-term cellular health overall. When autophagy functions properly, cells stay cleaner, mitochondria produce energy efficiently, and inflammation naturally decreases throughout your body. When it's suppressed by constant eating, cellular waste accumulates, contributing to dysfunction, inflammation, and accelerated biological aging. Fasting between 16 and 24 hours accelerates this ancient cleanup process, giving your cells room to optimize. Many people report feeling lighter, clearer, and more internally organized during this exact window, and that's completely real. Push past 24 hours toward the 48-hour mark, and your body enters an entirely different, fully adapted state. Growth hormone can increase roughly 5-fold, dramatically accelerating fat burning while aggressively protecting your precious muscle tissue. This isn't accidental, it's survival programming, ensuring humans could endure food scarcity without losing critical physical capability. Ketone levels rise and stabilize, becoming your brain's primary fuel source instead of unpredictable spike-prone glucose energy. Many people report sharper focus, calmer thinking, and steady alertness during this phase, without any dramatic energy crashes. This makes evolutionary sense. Our ancestors needed clear thinking during scarcity, not foggy confusion when survival depended most. But this window isn't for everyone, and your body will clearly signal when something feels genuinely wrong somewhere. Severe dizziness, heart palpitations, confusion, or extreme weakness aren't signs of progress. They're signals demanding immediate attention. Fasting isn't an endurance competition. There's no biological medal awarded for ignoring your body's clear warning signs. Extended fasting must be personalized carefully. Some thrive here, while others are genuinely better served by shorter windows. Now we reach the single most important factor determining whether fasting truly works or quietly, silently fails completely. It's not fasting duration, it's timing, the exact biological moment your food actually enters your body's system. Your body runs on a 24-hour circadian rhythm, regulating hormones, temperature, digestion, and especially glucose processing efficiency. Eating against this circadian rhythm means working against your own biology, regardless of how many fasting hours you count. Insulin sensitivity peaks in the morning, then gradually declines throughout the day towards significantly reduced evening efficiency. By evening, your body's glucose processing ability can drop roughly 17% compared to earlier morning hours. The exact same meal produces completely different metabolic outcomes depending entirely on what time you actually eat. Eat earlier, and insulin responds efficiently, clearing glucose smoothly while leaving more time for fat burning afterward. Eat late, especially heavy dinners, and you're introducing energy exactly when your body handles it least effectively. This explains why disciplined fasters still see disappointing results, skipping breakfast while eating dinner far too late.
Their fasting window exists on paper, but biologically their body processes food deep into the night regardless. Imagine cleaning your house during bright daylight versus fumbling around in complete darkness. Same task, wildly different efficiency. Eating earlier aligns with daylight biology. Eating late forces your metabolism to work blindly in the dark. This doesn't require extreme schedules. Simply moving dinner from 9 o'clock to 6 or 7 creates meaningful change. Those extra evening hours let insulin fall, hormones stabilize, and deep repair processes finally begin overnight properly. Consistency matters too. Eating at similar times daily helps your body anticipate food and optimize insulin sensitivity naturally. Irregular timing, especially weekday versus weekend shifts, disrupts your internal clock and creates unnecessary metabolic inefficiency overall. Science backs this powerfully, starting with a landmark study from circadian rhythm researcher Dr. Sachin Panda's laboratory. Mice ate identical food, identical calories, identical composition, with only one variable changing between the two groups. One group ate throughout the entire day, the other ate only within a restricted 8 to 12-hour window daily. The restricted group stayed leaner, healthier, and showed fewer metabolic disease markers despite consuming identical total calories. This challenged the old belief that calories alone determine outcomes, proving timing changes everything about metabolic processing. A human study published in Cell Metabolism confirmed this exact principle using carefully controlled dietary conditions afterward.
Men with pre-diabetes ate identical meals, but one group ate early, between 8 in the morning and 2. After 5 weeks, this early eating group showed 36% improved insulin sensitivity without losing a single pound. Blood pressure dropped, oxidative stress markers fell significantly, proving metabolic health improves before visible weight changes appear. This delivers a powerful message. Calories don't vanish, but your body's response depends heavily on precise timing. So here's the real question. If you had to skip one meal, should it be breakfast or dinner instead? Science points clearly towards skipping or shifting dinner earlier rather than sacrificing breakfast entirely from your schedule. Morning and early afternoon offer peak insulin sensitivity, while evening biology is designed for resting, not processing food. Skip breakfast but eat late and you create a mismatch, fasting when capable, eating when least prepared. Eat earlier instead, and nighttime naturally becomes an extended fasting and repair period without requiring extra willpower whatsoever. This doesn't demand extreme sacrifice. Simply shifting dinner 2 or 3 hours earlier creates powerful biological advantages daily. Sustainability matters enormously here. A strategy only works long-term if it realistically fits into your actual daily life. Skipping breakfast often hurts morning focus and performance, while eating dinner earlier is usually far easier to maintain. This isn't about rigid rules, it's about working with biology instead of constantly fighting against your own body. Eat when your body processes food best, and fast when your body is naturally designed to rest. If you've made it this far, you've discovered something powerful. Your body was never working against you. It was simply waiting for the right conditions, the right timing, and the right understanding to finally align. Fasting isn't an endurance test, it's a partnership with your biology, built on respect rather than punishment. When you eat at the right time and fast at the right moment, sustainable change finally becomes possible. If this shifted how you see fasting, subscribe for more science-backed content built on clarity, not empty hype.